Hey, what's going on, man? It's CBG here, Team Freedom Focus, and welcome back to your second of 6 elite talks here with me on Team Freedom Focus. Let's just be real here. Elite action takers quietly and not so quietly laugh at the 99% of guys out there who are living in painful, quiet mediocrity. Unlike them, we continue taking more action on our path. We take elite action on our path at whatever cost, because we do not sacrifice our ambition. However, we do whatever it takes, and we do achieve it because we're willing to do whatever it takes. All right. Anyways, I got a great talk for you today. I literally just took probably a 3-mile walk around my neighborhood as I was going over the notes for this specific talk. I wanted to make sure that they were perfect, ready, and of course, up to my standards. And I'm ready to rock if you are. Are you ready? All right, cool. So today's talk is all about becoming and being a genius. Okay, pretty cool topic to talk about that. All right, I'm pretty stoked about it. It's really cool because if I'm giving a talk on being a genius, that would of course imply that I am a genius. It would also imply that you are already a genius, or you're about to become a genius. So from one genius to another, let's begin. So there are 4 extremely important reasons why you always want to be a genius, why it is so powerful for you to be a genius, why it's such a crucial, critical aspect in your life as a man. Because really, we're going to be real here. I don't know how old you are. You could be a college student. There are several guys in here who are in their 30s and 40s and who are already millionaires and already building their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th businesses, who are still ambitious, still on their path, and still attracting the wealth that they want in their life. All right, it's beautiful. I admire it. Guys of all ages, okay? No matter where you are right now, you really only have 2 choices, okay? Are you going to be somewhat intelligent? Are you going to be like some people? You know a little bit about some things? Or are you going to become a genius, okay? It's really not that hard to become a genius in today's society. That term does get thrown around just a little bit. Important points to take from that is it's not that hard to become a genius. 2, what else are you going to become if you're not going to become a genius? You're going to see that it's pretty cool when you do become a genius. Lastly, for people who work with you, people, your family, your friends, the girls that you meet, to think of you as a genius is really not that difficult in today's world. And I'm going to show you exactly how in today's VIP Team Freedom Focus talk. So the number one reason why being a genius is so awesome. As a genius, you always have something interesting to say. And most importantly, it always seems like you have something more that you could say when you're talking to people. No matter what you're talking about, when you're in a conversation with people, you always have something that you could add, something fascinating, something mesmerizing, something that provokes them, or something that makes them think. All geniuses have this quality. And on top of that, if you're always saying these interesting things, it's not what you're talking about that becomes interesting. It becomes you. You become interesting. If you're always having enough facts, tidbits, stories, anecdotes, you're not just interesting. That's when you become fascinating. And of course, when you're fascinating, that's when you become mesmerizing. And of course, when you become mesmerizing, you become unforgettable. And they spend all of their time thinking about who? You. And on top of that, geniuses always seem like they have more that they could say. And I'm going to give you a specific formula for this just a little bit later. But it seems like you have something more that you could say, or more that you could give and provide in that conversation. Let's just say you're having a conversation with someone and you bring it back to that human drive. It's that and you have that way of describing it that's the really fascinating, really interesting point. And to the other person, how you described it, you could have talked about this subject even more. There was more. You could fascinate on this subject even more. All geniuses have this quality where they say something and you think, that was pretty interesting. And then deep down you go, that was pretty interesting. And you go deep down and you're like, they probably have way more. I probably should stick around just a little bit and see what else could come out of this conversation. What insights that I could obtain, what insights that I could apply to my life. That's the first reason. Second reason, when you're a genius, you can enter any conversation bravely, okay, with anyone, okay? All right, when you know good conversation mechanics, you never really have to plan what you're going to talk about, what you're going to say, what you're going to explain and reveal. You really don't have to prepare that much because you're a genius and you have all of this wisdom in all of these different areas that you can call upon in any different situation. Let's say that you go into a conversation. You don't have to plan anything that you're going to say. You don't have to stay away from any different subjects because you know you always have different to say. You have that circle of a reference. You have that wisdom. You have that breadth of knowledge. And I'm going to show you exactly how in today's talk, when you had all of this on top of you having this good energy, that vibe, that playful, that good energy, that light energy, that natural charm that makes you always know what to say. It makes people want you, it makes people attracted to you, and you bring what is mostly being talked about to yourself or the other person. You got that me-you back and forth communication, and you have that good, strong energy, and you're always linking it back to either them or yourself, and you're so addictive and you're so intriguing. And of course, everything that you're talking about, everything that you're saying is being drawn over this powerful, honest signals, okay? Stories that you can share, they can be 10-second stories. And when you have those good conversation mechanics and you have that wisdom of a genius, you can go into any conversation, anytime, anywhere, and you never have to worry about it ever again. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Reason number 3, why being a genius is so important. When you're a genius, you're paid more and people value you higher. When you're a genius, you get paid more, you get more cash, and you get promoted faster. Okay, people meet you and they instantly go, that's the guy, you're the one who's going to be at the top pretty soon. It's pretty obvious to them that you're just going to the top. You're just on top of your shit. I don't know what it is about you. I don't know what it is about him, but he's just going to the top. You're just going to the top, you're just going to be legendary. And do not make the mistake, all right? Do not mistake it for a second that frame or that expectation where people think that you're going to the top usually creates that outcome later on. Let's just say, for instance, people at the bottom of a company who worked up their ranks. It's not like you see in the movies, okay? Like there's this delusional loser and there's a bunch of things that happen. A miracle happens that happens in that story, and it's not like that person gets really lucky and ends up on top. It's not like the underdog made it like in the movies. That's not how it really works in the real world reality here. In the real world, the person who gets to the company already, and hopefully he's already a genius and he knew CBG, he was on Team Freedom Focus before he got to the company. People would peg that person who was just going to the top. All right, he's just going to the top. He's rising to the top. That's the guy. You're the guy who we can count on. That you're the guy who is going to deliver. You're the guy who is going to go above and beyond, and you're the guy who's going to go above and beyond and do whatever it takes to make our company succeed and make our company profit. And you have those high expectations surrounding you, and that helps you achieve that success and allow your presence to be a winning presence, a champion presence, a victorious presence. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And oftentimes, those expectations can often carry you all the way to the top when you're not feeling it, when you're at that low point in your life. Lastly, reason number 4, when you're a genius, you know more successful strategies, all right? When you're a genius, you know more successful strategies than other people do, all right? Or your circle of reference is always getting bigger, and it's always getting bigger than other people. And if you're working with a team, let's just say you're looking for different strategies to get an edge, to gain an advantage. Well, if you're a genius, however, you're going to have several more strategies inside your back pocket to pull for this specific strategy, for this specific situation. Let's say there's five of you working on a problem, and everyone is giving their input and everyone is giving their ideas. Let's just say just because you're a genius and you're reading a book about someone dealing with this similar problem that you're dealing with, and they use that strategy, and you bring that strategy to this table that was successful, that was the right one, that solves the problem, and you come up with that solution and you solve that problem on your own. And I'm going to show you the keys in just a second, specific genius building habits in order for you to have those successful strategies that will literally allow you to have a bigger circle of reference, that will allow you to have that strategy that to everyone else, you're going to appear to be a genius. And this is the best part about becoming a genius. Your legend begins to grow. Your legend begins to grow. I love it, okay? Your legend begins to grow. Your name starts to get passed around and you begin to be remembered, okay? You're out with some friends maybe, and you tell your buddy the right words that he's trying to meet this new girl, and you have the right words to get that solution solved, because you're always the person who has the successful strategies to solve those problems. How do you think someone becomes a legend? A legend is created. You might want to write this down. A legend is created when people start telling your story, start telling and sharing your story with friends, with other people, with people that you know, with people you meet, when people don't even know who you are and your name gets passed around. A legend is created when your story gets passed around. When you're constantly at the cause, you're not reactive to all this world stuff. You're the one coming up with the successful solution, the successful strategies in order to have the successful life. Your name just gets passed around, and when you start solving million-dollar problems, and you start problems on massive levels, now, because you're a genius, you know how all of the guys can take all the girls home. Or if you're in your business, you know all the successful strategies in order to have the revenue and profit and the conversion rate to skyrocket. And that's something on the Legends. But when you're working on $1 billion company and you guys are building something amazing, and there's an obstacle, there's a roadblock in the way, and there's a strategy that you have to get through that strategy, and that legend gets passed around, that legend starts to get shared, and your name starts to build your legendary impact. That's super freaking cool. All right, so those are the 4 most important reasons why being a genius, why you always want to be a genius. So in the next video, stay tuned. I'm going to go over the keys to building this genius so I can put it inside of you. So all you have to do is I'm going to download it straight into your subconscious so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to do all the heavy lifting. I'm going to do all the work for you. So stay tuned to these most critical keys for you to always being a genius. I'll see you soon. CBG, Team Freedom Focus. And you are an action taker, a positive, self-motivated action taker who is building, we are building, handcrafting your legendary life together. See you soon.